Welcome back, everybody, to more Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. I'm Savage Hound Dusk, and today we will be beginning the final act of the game. I am going to go over all of my YouTube VODs after I finish this, or my YouTube transfers of all of my Twitch VODs, to make absolutely sure that everything is done and all of the videos look fine. Then I will go back and do a new playthrough of the game off camera until I reach the points that the game didn't record correctly from, and I will begin re-recording them. I will probably have to re-stream them as well. So everybody, please be prepared for that. That is probably going to be what I do for a good portion of my time in the future. I will also try to show off Beodur Awakening to the Force for anybody who cares. I have also been told there's a pretty good build you can make for that. But please just try to be patient with me. I apologize. I don't want to put it that way, and I don't want to say it that way to sound, you know, rude. I should have checked my stuff more carefully, and I am paying for that now by having to go back and redo my work. There we go. Okay. And everything is now live. So now we're about to go to Dantooine. This is going to be a relatively brief trip to Dantooine, by the way. And the expanded content mod is really going to help us out here. There we go, weapon focus with lightsabers to give him slightly better aim with those. Continue to augment his battle meditation. I will try to show off actually doing this game a little bit better in those sequences too. I've learned a lot from playing this game the way that I have for this run, and I apologize to everybody that I didn't get quite the level of expertise shown off that I really wanted to. But when I do a retread of this game, I will be trying to retread it with better knowledge of what's coming and perhaps how to prepare for it. Go ahead and get her master dueling. There we go. So she is going to be much better off now with that. I may also end up muting myself at certain instances in order to be able to eat lunch. I have not eaten lunch yet. I'm going to try to make sure, well, not lunch, but my after work meal. Oh, would you look at that? This place looks a little more cleaned up and restored. We are now going to head to the council chambers. And meet with the council.
Out of my way. I am Colonel Tobin of the Underon Mid... Lord, I bring news of the Jedi. A place where you may feed. Telos, Master. There is an academy of Jedi on Telos. Perhaps hundreds of them. Enough to sustain you. And enough for you to free Onderon. Enough for you to free Onderon.
It has been some time. The years have not been kind to us both, it seems, but perhaps now they will see the truth at last.
It is not as it was.
Perhaps that is for the best.
I'm going to be quiet here and eat while this goes on so that you guys can enjoy everything without my interruption.
We were wondering when you would arrive. This moment has taken some time to reach us, and I imagine you have many questions.
Or perhaps you've come for revenge.
Did you not go to join him?
No, it is a battle he must face alone.
But Atris, she has not come.
Of course she has not.
I am going to interrupt briefly. The lines between the Handmaiden there. Hold on a second. The lines between the Handmaiden and Kreia there, they actually were part of the restored content mod.
Now, we will do as we have done. We will wait. There's nothing else we can do. No, the true threat is yet to show itself. It is waiting for something, us perhaps, to enter the war. We have seen their soldiers, the remnants of their fleet, but those are symptoms of a disease. It is more bait to attempt to draw us out.
The actual battle is being fought through the Force, not with weapons of war. It isn't about the Republic anymore. The attack on Onderon, something was attempting to use the planet itself, to feed on it, to draw on the power there. You prevented it, but it was a stalling measure. The next time will be critical.
We cast you out of the Order because you followed Revan to war. There was no other reason.
No, there was another. You had become different somehow, changed. The war had changed you.
You were no longer a Jedi, but we could not tell you why. Some explanations mean nothing unless the one who suffers comes to the answer on their own. What had happened to you was punishment enough, and the Jedi do not kill their prisoners.
And if you had stayed, you would have changed us, and that we could not allow.
You already know the answer. You've noticed it in those who travel with you.
Have you noticed that when you act, others follow?
Those that travel with you.
There's something wrong here. A disturbance in the Force.
Do not let them hurt him.
They follow you, without question, without hesitation.
Against their instincts, and sometimes against their sense.
It is because you are a leader, but that still fails to grasp the meaning of what I'm trying to tell you.
It is not an easy thing to explain. Surely you are familiar with force bonds. It is the bond that develops between apprentice and master when one truly understands another. It is developed over time through understanding of each other. Yet you do it so easily, and we do not know why.
You make connections through the Force, and it resonates with those who travel with you. The resonance is even greater when they, too, are Force-sensitive.
Your actions affect others more than you know. You draw others to you, especially those strong in the Force.
When you suffer, their spirit echoes it. And when they are in pain, their pain becomes yours. We do not know, but it is not the first time you felt the weight of so many lives.
And that is why the Mandalorian Wars echo within you still.
We did not cut you off from the Force. You were merely deafened to it. Because of that last battle of the Mandalorian Wars.
The screams of countless thousands, Jedi and Mandalorians, crushed by the planet's gravity, annihilated.
Their lives still scream across the surface of that dead planet, and within you. To hear the Force over such pain, it is not possible. It was too much for any Jedi to endure, and it is a wonder that you did not die there when thousands perished. All those you had fought with and struggled with. You cut yourself off because you had to if you were to survive. You had hints of it in the war on Doxon. Malachor was simply the final blow.
You were deafened.
At last, you could hear.
You were broken.
You were whole.
You were blinded.
And at last, you saw.
When you returned to us, we saw what had happened. You carry all those deaths at Malachor within you. And it has left a hole, a hunger that cannot be filled.
In you, we saw a wound in the Force.
In you, we saw the end of the Force.
Yes, you can feel the Force, but you cannot feel yourself. You are a cipher, forming bonds, leeching the life of others, siphoning their will and dominating them. It is the teaching of these new Sith to feed on others, on other Force sensitives. They are symptomatic of the wound in the Force. You are a breach that must be closed. You transmit your pain, your suffering through the Force. Within you we see something worse than merely the teachings of the Sith. What you carry may mean the death of the Force, and the death of the Jedi. So you think. It is not the strength of a Jedi you feel.
He's right. It's all the death you've caused to get here. You feed on it, and you grow stronger. You're like Malachor. It's in you, it's what you are now. You must have noticed as you fought across all these planets, killing hundreds, only to become more and more powerful. Why do you think that was?
But what's worse is that bonding you have. It hasn't gone away. It's gotten stronger. And the more attachments you form, the more you draw others to you.
And that is why you are a threat to us all. What if other Jedi went to war as you did, suffered the same events, and emerged as you did? What if there was a crucible that trained such Jedi to consume and kill?
For you, Malachor was that crucible.
What's worse is these Sith that we face. I fear that they have learned the lesson of Malachor all too well. It is what allows them to prey on Force users, to become stronger when Force sensitives are near.
Somehow they have learned their hunger from you. And so you have brought about the end of the Jedi, and perhaps all the knowledge of the Force. But it is of no consequence. Your ability to make such connections, such bonds so easily are why you cannot remain.
And so you wait, as a shadow.
Yes, we are alike that way, blinded one.
I would have thought you would walk with him amongst the Jedi, but that is not the way of the Sith, is it?
Do not speak to me of the ways of the Sith. You, of all of us, have no conception of what it means to be Sith.
You are a threat to living creatures and all who feel the Force.
You will lead the Sith here, and that we cannot allow.
Our judgment before remains. Exile. You must leave. And you must leave without your tie to the Force. It is a punishment reserved for only a few, and only when necessary. But we have the power to cut you off from the Force, and it must be done.
Forgive us, but it is necessary.
Do not be afraid. You shall feel no pain, but this must be done. As long as you feel the Force, you are a danger to those around you.
Hey, Exelion!
Enough!
Yeah, exactly. They're all fucking
Step
stupid, by the way. They
away
have
from
no
him.
actual idea of what's happening to me.
Step away. He has brought truth, and you condemn it? The arrogance.
You will not harm him. You will not harm him ever again.
I thought you had died in the Mandalorian Wars.
Die? No. Became stronger. Yes.
Is this your new master, Exile? If so, then you follow Revan's path. Her teachings will cause you to fall as surely as he did.
She
Yep,
is
I am too.
difficult to see. She's like a shadow of the exile. They sit out, and now they have come to us.
How could you ever hope to know the threat you face when you have never walked in the dark places of the galaxy, faced war and death on such a scale? If you had traveled far enough, rather than waiting for the echo to reach you, perhaps you would have seen it for what it was. Did you not hear its call on Dantooine Vrook, on its scarred surface, and in the minds of the settlers? I have endured your corruption of my other students. You shall not have this one. And you, Kavar, so close to the call of Daxan, tell me, did you not feel what poured from the moon, what had taken place there? And Zezkael, to hide upon Nar Shaddaa, yet blind yourself to all that happens there. So close to understanding the Force. So close to giving it up. There is a place in the galaxy where the dark side of the Force runs strong. It is something of the Sith, but it was fueled by war. It corrupts all that walks on its surface, drowns them in the power of the dark side. It corrupts all life, and it feeds on death. Revan knew the power of such places, and the power in making them. They can be used to break the will of others, of Jedi, promising them power and turning them to the dark side. Did you never wonder how Revan corrupted so many of the Jedi, so much of the Republic, so quickly? The Mandalorian Wars were a series of massacres that masked another war, a war of conversion. culminating in a final atrocity that no Jedi could walk away from, save one. And that is what I sought to understand. How one could turn away from such power, give up the Force, and still live. But I see what happened now. It is because you were afraid. As you would pass judgment on him, I have come to pass judgment on you all. Do you wish to feel the teachings born of the Mandalorian Wars? Of all tragedies that scream across the galaxy? Let me show you. You, who have forever seen the galaxy through the Force. See it through the eyes of the exile. Yes. At last, you see. I am one of the Sith, it is true. I must answer for my actions, and it is my wish that only Atris hear my answers.
What are we gonna do? If we don't stop her, then everyone, everywhere, they're gonna lose their lives.
Soon your ship will come, my master. I will bring him before you, but I will not let you have him. Soon your ship shall come, from that which made you.
I know you can hear me. I have always known. It is why I followed you. I have destroyed planets for you, General. But now, this once, if we could save something in this galaxy, I need to do this, or I will die inside, like I died at Malachor 5.
You have gained a new light side force power, Force Enlightenment. Okay, I am now going to explain something. First of all, that was one of the greatest scenes I have ever seen in my life. And it also shows just how fucking stupid the Jedi Masters are here. This Master is dead, drained of life. His body is worse than lifeless. It's like an absence in the Force. If you examine them, all three of them actually look like that. Hey, Brawl God, welcome. So, the Jedi decided that you were some kind of weird malicious wound that is capable of feeding off of the death you inflict on others. What is actually happening is entirely fucking different. And, I absolutely despise how stupid three people in this game who are masters of the Force, Kavar, Zezkael, and Vrook, who should know the subtleties and nuances better than anyone else. I cannot fathom how dumb they have to be to completely misread this. They think your character is some kind of twisted, domineering parasite, malformed by the events of Malachor 5. But the reality is actually so much different than that. You are not a parasite, you are a resonance. You are a catalyst. It's okay, Brawl God. Sometimes life happens and you can't always show up, buddy. I'm gonna keep going with this and then I'll talk more to you. You are essentially a catalyst that can enhance and augment the powers of others. And you feed on the excess energy they give off. Much like the crystal that is tied to this lightsaber, because I stuck a crystal that is attuned to me in it, and it is capable of working with me and granting me a whole bunch of bonuses as a result. My power has magnified because the number of people that I have bonded to and tied to has magnified, and my bonds with them have grown deep, strong. They're all deep personal friends, people I care about, people I can enjoy, people I can appreciate. That is what they have become. And they haven't been parasitically altered. They haven't been domineered or corrupted. The bond has allowed us both. It works on me as much as it works on them, although it may not be apparent the way the game plays. They can influence you as you influence them. But you have to be able to understand these people in order to influence them. that means their influence as people, their decisions, their lives, their personal choices, how that affects them, all of it has to actually be understood by you. The trick to why your character can form such strong bonds in the Force, yeah, there's a fucking reason for that. It's called your character is really good at reading and knowing people and understanding them as a result. It has nothing to do with parasitic corruption, and it will never have anything to do with parasitic corruption. Your alignment in the Force can affect their alignment as people, but it cannot totally corrupt them. On some level, you can edge them towards it, but they have to want it. That's called influencing someone, not dominating them. Yeah, exactly. I ate 3 masters and now I want whipped cream. Where's Atris? And Kreia understood the reality of the situation. Our character had to give up the power of the Force or become corrupted by the mass deaths of Malachor 5. Oh, hey, look, we just picked up Darth Malak's armor. Guess what I can't use because I'm not dark side aligned? Darth Malak's fucking armor. It's actually pretty good freaking armor, too. By the way, that's an item that I never found before I actually started working on this mod. Yeah, like, this is a very, very nostalgic moment, too, in a lot of ways for me as well. Because this game was a really big part of my childhood. But, like, those 3 masters, I came to an epiphany when I played this game on PC a few months back. And that epiphany was that the Jedi Council members that survived, that you just saw Kreia fucking nuke and suck the Force out of, like, you know, a frickin' fruit vice squeezing life out of a lemon. Yeah, those 3 people are fucking idiots! They're some of the most intelligent and powerful Jedi of the Order, and they're idiots! Because all they can see is the Force itself. Because that's all they've known, yeah, Vrook is the worst. Vrook is easily the fucking worst of them all. And before I continue this scene, I'm just gonna get the rest of this rant out, because it's very important to the story and core core aspect of the game. Your character is not a fucking parasite. Your character is a catalyst. You gather with people, you bond with people, those bonds become deep, and both of you benefit. Atton didn't just awaken to the Force and become my fucking Force puppet. Dude is my bro for life because I learned him. I understood him. I saw the worst in him and chose to accept him and make him better. If you are dark side, you can see the worst in him and choose to convince him to follow it. But your influence is no more evil than, say, a fire. Fire burns shit, but fire itself is not inherently evil. However, comparing what you do to others to fire burning down a forest is not really a good analogy. They should have brought Vandar here. Yeah, they probably should have. Vandar actually would have disputed things and thought about it. Vandar was one of the more thoughtful Jedi in the first game. And the entire point of everything going on here is that she, like, Kreia found you and you were the greatest mystery in the universe because you were the only person to feel the power of the Force that she had ever found out of the millions across the galaxy that she'd known, who chose to cut away from it when you knew it was going to turn you into something evil. Everyone else would rather keep their power and become a monster. You chose not to, because that wasn't what you wanted. And because the very thought of it terrified you so much, what you might become if you allowed that to take you. Your character, when they cut themselves off from the Force, did not become a wound, though. The Force lay dormant, I think, because the midi-chlorians in you kind of died out. Or if you don't want to go by that, because I know a lot of people really don't like that explanation for the Force, what you could also say is slicing yourself off from the Force so quickly and so severely temporarily deafened you to your connection. And when you started to rebuild that connection through someone else, it came back to you stronger and faster than ever. And all of a sudden, all of the skills you had learned, all the techniques that you'd honed, everything that made you what you were in the Jedi Wars, suddenly, it comes back to you in a rush. And because of all of your prior experience being raised as a Jedi, you got it back quickly and better than ever. Because you got the perspectives of other people in your head to help augment your mind by opening it up to possibilities most people can only dream of. And the problem with those Jedi is they're so in tune with the Force that the Force was all they saw. And they instantly presumed. That's the worst part. These Jedi presumed that they knew what you were doing and what was happening to you. But they didn't ever once try to experience it for themselves or open them up to the possibility. Because most of the Jedi who did get opened up to that fell to the dark side. Well, they fell to the dark side because they were overwhelmed by the rush of emotions that was tied to it. Your character does not suffer from that problem. When you experience those rushes and those echoes, because you have already experienced it and have been able to turn away, you can tune it out. You can control it and direct it into something positive or neutral if you want to. But somebody who has never experienced that before is likely to be overwhelmed because it's so different from what they know. And I hate the Jedi Council here, but at the same time, there's a reason they're fucking terrified of you. You cut yourself off from the Force. Something that none of those three assholes would have ever tried to do. Those three Jedi Masters would rather die than give up the Force. But they would just as soon take it away from you because they don't understand you. They were suffering from the same thing that Sith often suffer from and others who fall to the dark side. A deep and intense fear of something they couldn't understand. Because to do what they would need to do would terrify them. They would lose everything that makes them special in giving up the Force. And they couldn't do that. Even temporarily, they couldn't do it. They couldn't fathom it. They couldn't dream of it. That idea scares the fucking shit out of them so much, they will do anything to deny it. And it's not particularly apparent there, I think largely because the voice inflection of the Jedi Masters is terrible. Zez Kyle, when he talks, a lot of the time he drones on like a fucking robot. Kavar, he always sounds like he's sort of more or less casual until he actually gets down to business. But the worst part of it is that none of them really felt like they were afraid when they were talking to you, quite so much as just acting bullheaded and stubborn. I think that shows that they're probably hiding their fear, but I think the game could do with a bit of narrative benefit of showing you why they're scared. Showing you from their minds a little bit of that fear. Or at least, I don't know, maybe try to find a facial expression or something to do that. But those three are fucking imbeciles. And Kreia knew it. She realized that when he cut himself on from the Force, the exile was actually able to see life from the perspectives of people who don't have the Force. And this is a critical thing that Jedi lack. The Jedi have the power of the Force, and because of that, they see life in an entirely different way. Not just by the supernatural powers and fighting prowess it gives them, but they see life so differently because they can see through the spiritual essence of everything. They can read people's minds. They can feel their emotions. They can sense what they're trying to do. They can see the future before it happens. Well, the exile cut themselves off from all of that. Losing all of those advantages, those Jedi Masters wouldn't dream of doing that. And yet, the reason why Kreia hated them so much is because they had the nerve to judge your actions and your choices, but have no context other than secondhand information. Their refusal to try and experience it is actually what ultimately made them fail to completely understand. There was a book I once read a long while back on Star Wars where Luke gets exiled from the Jedi Order and has to go on the hunt to find out what made Jason Solo fall to the dark side. Because he figures out from Mon Mothma's perspective. Mon Mothma, when she was judging him and trying to punish him, he figured out that the only reason he knew she was wrong is because he had the Force and he could tell, and that gave him advantages that she didn't have. She, however, was without the Force, and because she didn't have the Force, from her perspective, she was completely correct. Luke actually stopped and thought about this and realized that he's wrong to her because he doesn't have the Force. But she is wrong to him because he has the Force, and it opened up his mind to all these extra planes of thinking that she can't access. So, there's a very big difference between them. And that's one of the most important things that this game tries to address, whilst in my opinion also making the Council look stupid, but only in a way that makes complete sense for a Force sensitive, in ways that I feel like a lot of people criticize Star Wars Episodes 1, 2, and 3 for making them look stupid in ways that they really shouldn't have been stupid.
Handmaiden took her. She thinks Kreia killed you. Of course she didn't. It's a lie. Another lie. The only thing that matters is the Handmaiden believes it. And she's gonna react exactly how that old witch hoped she would. That's why she wanted the Handmaiden on board.
I apologize for going on that
could use her
tirade,
to
but I
reach
feel
the
like I
Telos
needed to
Academy whenever she
explain in
wished,
great
without
detail
needing the access codes.
what just happened there, because when I was younger and the first few times I played this game, I really didn't understand what made that sequence significant at all.
Yes, the Handmaiden knows who she is now. She'll take her to Telos, and Atris will do what she'll do to anyone she thinks is a Sith. Yeah, I know. Are you surprised? All that talk of hatred, manipulation, and standing on your own 2 feet? Sorry, you don't get any more Sith than that.
Still, if we were all judged by who we were in the past, I don't think you'd understand who we are now.
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Telos, and I am going to let you guys enjoy the final act of this game. This is like, for me, this is the greatest Star Wars video game that has ever been made. No Star Wars game tops this. Particularly with after the restored content mod, it's so much better.
What is wrong? Something troubles you. I can feel it.
Oh, this is where you can have your opportunity to romance her.
I do not understand what you mean. I would die for you. When I tell you my life for yours, it is my choice. And if there is an ending between us where my sacrifice can save you, it will be because it is my desire, not your will. I simply do. And sometimes there is no reason that can be given. What did you learn within the Jedi Academy? Then that is the danger of their beliefs. They do not understand you, what it means to be human, to lead.
No, they
Feelings
don't.
I have for you are because of what I see, what I hear in your voice. All that tells me you are a natural leader. I follow because I believe in you. I would die for you because I believe in you. And where they look at you and see the death of the Force, I look at you and see hope for all life. I look at you and see that perhaps a life untouched by the Force is not the punishment it is believed to be. I will understand if you feel you must go on alone. But I ask that you do not.
Oh, I'm not
Instead,
going
take
alone.
strength from your connection to others. Do not forsake them as you did in exile.
If you actually romance her earlier, you'll have a much more romantic and intimate moment here. Oh. Oh, maybe I still can. I didn't know that.
He awaits you at Telos. If you go there, you must face him. And when you do, he will wound you, as he has wounded me.
Glory!
I ask you.
How's my buddy doing?
I beg you to stay here with me. I want to look upon you where no one else can see. Where it is just us. I want to see your face.
I
Your
exist.
skin. I wish to see what the Handmaiden sees. When she looks at you, that causes her heart to race.
This is actually an extremely well-written romance
What
scene, by
causes
the
her
way.
to
Like,
forsake her
most
heritage,
romance
her
scenes that I've
oaths,
seen feel really cheesy
as
and
you
crappy.
made me
This is
forsake
actually a
her.
good one.
I need to know if perhaps I am wrong. If the universe is not as my master once showed me.
Sorry, I had to.
From the moment I heard your voice across the galaxy, I have longed for you. It is the echo, a wound that travels still, that when heard, made me understand that there was another wounded as I was. One who had felt the same sense of loss. When I heard it, I loved you more than my own life. And I wanted you to be here with me for as long as you will let me love you. Stay. And I want you to see what I see when I gaze upon you. I want you to know why I cannot look at you. And why
My eyes are wounded
I
every
am
time I
drawn
see
to
the
you.
council. I mean, my eyes don't get wounded by the council. It's my fucking sanity that's hurt by them. Excuse me. This is how the Miraluka see. Or as close as the game can get you to it. Yeah, basically, anything goes besides hate speech words. Like, I'm not... As long as somebody's not essentially espousing slurs, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, Exelion, you want to talk about the council? Let's go ahead and do that. Atris wished the exile had died, and in the presence of the rest of the council, Vrook was a dark-sided prick since KOTOR 1, and everyone knows it. They got no punishment. So...
Who is there?
That's
is not the question.
kind of true, kind of not,
I'm Atris,
actually.
Jedi Master, the last historian of the Jedi.
In fact,
The last
Atris right here is going to help me
Words
explain
you cling
things.
to as the darkness falls around you. It is not the first
I'm going to
time
let
that
this
you
scene play out, and then I'll talk about my
I was
perspective
here
on that with you, Exelion.
before.
With the exile.
Yes, I was here both times when the exile was brought before you.
Who are you?
I was the one who asked him to be exiled.
I did as you asked, so long ago. You seem familiar to me.
Atris, I have always been here.
You are that which has attacked the Jedi. You are Sith.
Sith is a title, yes, but like you, the title is not who I am. It is not what I believe. For you, it is different. Know that there was once a Darth Treya, and that she cast aside that role, was exiled, and found a new purpose. But there must always be a Darth Treya, one that holds the knowledge of betrayal, who has been betrayed in their heart, and will betray in turn. You have bathed in the knowledge of the Sith, but there is not enough truth in such teachings. But it will be a step for you. You have gathered Sith holocrons, Sith teachings from across the galaxy. It is why you have chosen servants who cannot feel the Force. And most importantly, they cannot feel what you have become.
I have sought to preserve the Jedi Order, and I have gathered all that I know of the Sith to this place, so I might find them and stop them.
I had wondered if any of these holocrons had survived Dantooine. You have taken relics from one destroyed planet to the devastation of another.
It was always intended for the Jedi to retreat to Telos should Dantooine be attacked, taking all their lore with them. We could not allow the tragedy at Ossus to happen again.
Such an act marked Telos for destruction. It is why the Sith came here, though the fleet commanders did not know why. It is why Revan ordered its destruction to mark the beginning of the Jedi's civil war. It was a message that there would be no place for the Jedi to retreat, to hide.
That line was part of the restored content mod.
Beneath the surface of the planet. Much can be buried beneath graveyards that will never be found.
When the Sith attacked, I felt Telos die. Turbo lasers fell like lightning upon the landscape, as they did on Dantooine, and so many died. So many voices, screaming in pain.
Yes, such acts leave their mark on the galaxy. Their cries travel far, though few...
I think a fair bit of this conversation is actually from the restored
Search
content
your
mod.
heart. It was never battle that called to you, never battle that caused you to fall. Malachor 5 has touched many things, and it casts its echoes still.
Why did he betray me?
You betrayed yourself. Do not blame the exile. And unlike you and I, there is still a chance that one may be saved. The one that you cast out.
Where is the exile? I had thought...
Oh, he will come. But it will be too late to save either of us. It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
So, Vrook was not locked in the dark side. Vrook was just a presumptuous, rigid asshole. He's actually a pretty good example of what most of the Order actually came to be in the in episodes 1, 2, and 3. As for joining you on Malachor, no. She was angry for twofold reasons. The first reason she was pissed off is that she was in love with you even though she wasn't supposed to be. Or in love with the protagonist, rather. And Mitra canonically chooses to go to war over her. But she was also even more pissed off.
It is not too late for...
Oh, she was actually supposed to be in the final part of the... Oh, okay. But she's also pissed off at herself because she didn't follow him to battle.
We shall see. You were always the last of us. And now we shall show you why.
We shall see what the exile has
told. Okay.
If she kills her sisters, then the dark side will have its claim on her. Yet if she does not, then she will die. Such is sacrifice.
The true test of battle is how much force to bring against opponents. If you wish to kill them, do not hold back. But if you wish to stun them, incapacitate them, then you must choose your attacks carefully, using just the right amount of force, just the right weapon to stop them.
To stop your sisters, you must either kill all of them or end the combat with all of them stunned or paralyzed. You can reduce them to enough hit points without killing them, then they'll be automatically stunned. Oh, Jesus Christ, okay. I didn't think they'd kill her that quickly. I forgot how high the difficulty reaps up in this particular fight. Okay, I really wish the game would quit trying to make me attack somebody when I'm just trying to heal. Okay.
This will teach you.
I love how I'm getting stuck on the environment, and that's what's almost killing me. Force speed is so OP in this fight. It's actually kind of stupid. Every time they group up on her, she just takes so much damage. This fight is also originally not accessible. You actually have to have the restored content mod to do this. Use the heal trick.
This will teach you.
Oh, okay. I don't actually know how to do that, believe it or not. I wonder if I can't use her lightsaber to still knock them out without killing them. The game is certainly trying to be a dick about this. You want to know the worst part? This Mandalorian power shield is supposed to eat 80 damage before it goes out. It does not actually do that. And if it does, it certainly dies a little faster than I feel like it should. Fuck it. Oh, God. Wow, it made her continue to attack. What the fuck? Okay. That is not what I was trying to do with her. God damn. Yeah, I actually could. In fact, I'm going to. Because I was initially afraid that using the lightsaber was actually going to kill them all. But no, it does not. Okay. Oh, that's how you do that. I'm a fucking idiot. It's called ending combat. Jesus Christ. There we go. There we go. Oh, enter the items menu. Okay.
Where have you been? You have been absent so long, I feared for your safety. Were you with the exile all this time?
Mistress, as you commanded, I...
Commanded? Did I command you to consort with him? To follow his teachings, to betray your oath?
Mistress, the exile taught me many things.
I am certain he did. And now perhaps it is time to show me what you have learned.
Mistress, I do not understand.
Of course you do not. But you will learn. But you have had a long journey. And I am anxious to see what you have learned of war and battle.
I don't think I've ever unlocked this. Oh my god, that did a shit ton of damage. Holy fuck, dude. Damn! She beat her in 3 hits! Oh my god, that's so bad.
Enough. Did you have feelings for him? Did you...
You beat my ass! I pull out plot armor.
There is no love in that one. He is a shell, devoid of emotion. All that he was died at Malachor, and he dies there still, as he should.
You sure about that, bitch?
One exile has arrived to save another.
You truly have fallen far to kill a helpless opponent.
It is no crime to kill the Sith, or any that threaten the Republic, as you proved in the Mandalorian Wars. This is now my battle, and you are now my enemy.
Where is Kreia, Atris?
Kreia? That is not her name. She is gone, and is now beyond your reach, exile. Where she has gone, only I shall follow, after I have dealt with you.
Surrender, Atris. I don't want to fight you.
Such a noble offer. Your execution has been too long delayed, exile.
And she's been debuffed by battle meditation. She lost half her health in one move. She's trying to fight me with my fucking lightsaber. Oh, shit.
She said you would come here to this place. If you think you can defeat me here, you are wrong. All this collected knowledge, all these teachings of combat and the Force, they are mine to command.
Skill
And if
issue.
I must use it
Yeah, basically.
surrender. You need not die.
Atris, you've fallen to the dark side. Surely you see that.
That is not who I am, not any longer. She has not existed for some time, I think. There was always something else within me. It just took time for its voice to be heard.
Atris, we don't have time for this. We need to unite to stop the Sith.
Yes, the Sith are here at last. You have brought them to this place as I had foreseen. It has all been part of my plans for you. And when I defeat you and the forces you have brought to Telos, I shall take the battle to the heart of the Sith and wipe them out forever.
Where is the Sith base?
I do not know yet, but it does not matter. They have come here to face the Republic in battle, and they will be destroyed.
You've placed everyone on Citadel Station in jeopardy, Atris.
Yes, the Sith are here at last. And when I defeat you...
What plans are you talking about?
These Sith are cowards, striking from the shadows to kill Jedi. I needed a target to draw them out, but I could not risk my own life, all that remained of the Jedi. So I arranged for you to return to the Republic, leaked information of your past, and then waited for the Sith to come. And they did. But you came to Telos against my predictions. Now they are here, I can finally face this enemy and defeat them.
What happened to you?
The old woman you traveled with finally made me listen to myself, to the galaxy. She said that you would come here, and that you would face me in battle.
What is this place?
All the knowledge of the Sith, gathered from across the galaxy, brought here by my servants, so that I might uncover their secrets, and use them to track them down. But now they have been drawn from the shadows of the Outer Rim, and the only final matter to attend to is finishing you.
And when the Sith are defeated, what then?
When the Sith are destroyed, then I shall rebuild the Jedi Order again. They shall have none of the weaknesses of before. They shall be strong, willing to take battle to any who oppose them and weaken the Republic. They shall not train those who are easily corrupted. No more students that will bring war and hate to the galaxy.
Atris, you will make the Jedi into the Sith!
The Sith are the Jedi are the Sith. What matters is that they be preserved. All the law, all the teachings brought to a new generation. I am the last of the Jedi, and I will show them this truth. Bring it to the galaxy.
Weakness? Like when you fled KOTOR? And Dantooine?
I did not flee. I did what was necessary to fight the Sith and preserve the last of the Jedi.
And you left the Jedi to die on KOTOR!
Yes, I sensed what would happen on KOTOR. It was I who leaked knowledge of its presence in the hopes of drawing the Sith out. I will not deceive you. I knew what could happen there, but it had to be done to make the Sith reveal themselves. But I did not know the extent of their power, and what that meant for the Jedi. I will not underestimate them again.
You are responsible for the murder of an entire planet!
As are we both. You who brought the screams of Malachor to the galaxy. Do not preach to me. You lead by example, you always have. You knew what was necessary at Malachor 5, and the stakes in this war are higher than you know. It is a war of extermination, of total annihilation.
What were the Jedi doing on KOTOR?
They hoped to gather, to use their combined knowledge of the Force to see, to listen to the currents of the galaxy. They hoped to find out what was happening to the Jedi, why they were dying, and they discovered it. It revolved around you, as it always has. It is you who have tried to end us.
Me?
Yes. From the destruction of KOTOR, a vision emerged. It is the last act the Jedi were able to perform before the planet was destroyed. So that is why I arranged for you to return to the Republic, so that I might draw the Sith out and end them.
But that makes no sense. Why me?
Is it not obvious? You are one of the Sith, fallen at Revan's side. The path to them lies through you.
I am not allied with these Sith.
The pronouncement on KOTOR was clear, and you are the key. And look, you have come to battle me, Sith versus Jedi, as was intended.
Surrender and I'll spare you.
To you, never. Let us end this.
As you can see, Atris is more than a little mentally deluded.
Kill me. End this.
Why you gotta be a goody two-shoes all the time? Be evil for once. I am so tempted to do this just because he said that. After everything you've done, I'm not letting you off that easy.
If you will not kill me, then what will you do?
Tell me where Kreia is.
Where she walks is hidden from my eyes, but not from those of her kind. It is possible I may draw one last piece of knowledge from these holocrons. You always knew where they were striking from. You always knew. These Sith are spawned of you. Spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths. All those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life, until nothing is left except a hollow galaxy, echoing with the screams of the Jedi lost to us.
Is that where Kreia has gone?
Yes. I had thought she was awaiting me at that place, but I see now that she lied. It was not meant for me, but for you. She has gone there. She is waiting for you to travel to Malachor 5, to finish what you started.
What I started? I've heard enough. This is finished.
And what will you do with me now? Abandon me here on this dead world, or end my life as I wish to end yours?
I need you to see what you've become, and turn away from
my
it.
Life, my decisions to the Jedi. Perhaps only in separating myself from the Jedi can I become myself again. Learn who I am. Perhaps exile is what I deserve, even though it is many years too late and you have already returned. Leave now, while you can. Save Telos. Save the galaxy. Save yourself.
Originally, the only thing you can do, by the way, is execute her or just kind of leave her to those screaming holocrons.
I could not bring myself to tell him. It would have changed nothing. And because I was afraid. You know what lies at the heart of Malachor 5. I had thought it was in the past, yet it has become the future. And all that has happened there will happen again. And that is why I cannot bear it. Because it is Malachor 5. And because I love him. I do not understand why the Sith permit such teachings to exist. They cause only echoes.
I mean, she's gonna be scared anyway, because now she has to break everything in her life apart that she knew and try to live without it. Also, I haven't seen that dialogue before.
I thought I had lost you.
Well, I was a little late, but better late than never.
Kreia. She said the council had ended you.
She begs not to be left without you.
She was one of those who had sought
okay.
to kill us.
Both carry their truth in a way.
When I heard her say that you were dead, I failed you. I let my emotion run through me and I acted without thinking. I wanted to punish her, hurt her, see her answer for what she had done to the Jedi, for leading you to the council.
It's all right. Don't dwell on it. We will take action. All in its proper time.
Of course. Forgive my display. I am the last of the Handmaidens no longer.
That actually sounds like a really cool thing to see. I actually might show that off when I do a backup playthrough to make sure everybody sees what I couldn't show due to recording issues earlier. Then let's get in it. Let's get to it. We've got a planet to save. God damn, that Star Destroyer has seen better days. Well, it looks like a Star Destroyer. It's not quite a Star Destroyer. Ah, yes! We get to be HK-47 and blow up the Foundry! Hopefully I don't completely bungle this for like 30 minutes like I did the very first time I played it, because I had no fucking clue what I was doing. Oh, hey, look. Assholes.
Statement. The turbolift has been accessed, but no organics or hostiles have been detected entering the complex. Query. Is there a sensor malfunction? Irritated statement. The probability of such a malfunction is extremely low. Order. Run a scan of all units within the complex. Processing. Scan commencing. Result. Only HK units detected. Premonition. Something is wrong. Very wrong.
If you only knew. He's using a heavy repeating rifle at this point, so, yeah. So, just in case anybody was wondering about whether or not I would actually do the HK factory, yes, I will. I am in fact doing it now.
That is unit HK-47. Unnecessary addendum.
It's a war crime with your war crime with a side of war crime.
He is obsolete. He can no more harm us than he could harm himself. The military droids will be more than sufficient to intercept the obsolete unit and reduce him to component parts.
Good fucking luck with that. The way I've spec'd HK-47, that's not going to be easy. I got 10 construction kits, and I think I can find a workbench somewhere in this base, so... Hi! Oh god, I love you, HK-47. With a bit of Geneva suggestion for dessert. I do not adhere to the Geneva suggestion, sir. We do not speak of that heresy here in HK War Factory Murder Hobo Land. Jesus Christ, they can't even fucking hit him! Look at this! Holy shit! What is this madness? What is this bullshit that I have unleashed in HK-47? He can't... He wasn't even taking damage! Oh yeah, he did. He took a slight tiddly bit of damage. Well, there was literally no reason to slice that computer. Fuck your shield. Here, catch this with your face. Admittedly, the combat can get kind of monotonous in this game sometimes.
Unnecessary statement. He is attempting to shut down the reactor. Scornful
All
statement.
that for a drop
He
of
does not
blood.
realize that by doing so, he will be harming us. His programming will prevent it. Order. Contact him through the communications system and remind him, scathing reminder, HK-47 unit, if you attempt to shut down the reactor core, you will be harming the production of other HK-50 units. Now step away from the control room. That's a good droid. Mocking statement. He will never be able to shut down the reactor. He is trapped in the facility, unable to get out. Crude metaphor. It is like watching a tiny mouse droid in a maze attempting to path its way out. Amusing, but pitiful.
Oh, you idiots have no idea what you have unleashed. Okay, this is the reactor. There's a communications console over there. And that is a workbench. Here, catch this with your face. I said catch it with your face. With your face. There we go. The very first time I did this, I got my ass kicked a lot, and it was much harder. Largely just by virtue of me not doing it very well. Yeah, the HK-50 models are really fucking stupid. They're basically just like wanton psychotic mass murderers. And the only difference between them and HK-47 is HK-47 is actually good at his fucking job. HK-51 though is awesome. I love HK-51.
We were not anticipating defending it against a droid with our schematics, no matter how obsolete. Tactical assessment. This will render many of our defenses useless. Irritated dismissal. All of you, switch off your vocabulators. I'm trying to observe the obsolete unit.
They're like a bunch of idiot children arguing over fucking bullshit. Oh, God. I would not know. I haven't played enough of the MMO to fight HK-47. Here, catch this with your face. The droid way of shut the fuck up, I'm watching TV. Yeah, pretty much. That was delicious. Nothing like knocking back a cold one on top of your enemy's smoking corpses.
Switching to combat.
The way that I have upgraded this repeater, it is just the most overpowered goddamn thing ever, apparently.
Mission protocol initiated.
I've put some pretty nasty modifications on this gun, by the way. Droid CESS, okay.
Security measures bypassed.
Okay, give me a battle stimulant and an Ichani dueling shield. Shit that I can't even use, game!
Combat mode.
There we go. Shut down communications.
Query. I do not understand what that is intended to accomplish. Tactical analysis. Perhaps he seeks to reduce our morale, to unnerve us.
Oh, you wish.
Diagnostic. I do not feel any different. My morale, if I still have it, still feels intact. Query. Then what was the purpose? It makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense. You're just too stupid to think about the long-term possibilities of what he would want to do when he does that. Mandalorian disintegrator.
This security measures bypassed.
HK's prejudice set to maximum line is also used in the MMO before the fight starts. Oh, dude! Now I kind of want to go play the MMO enough to find that out. That sounds awesome. Damn it! It sounds like I missed a lot playing the not playing the MMO much. How is the MMO? Is it actually good? Because I've heard mixed opinions depending on what story you play. Damn! He one-shot the Telos droid! It's enjoyable, okay. He one-shot that fucking Telos military droid. That was ridiculous, dude. Holy crap. Oh, God. I have to listen to these idiots again.
He has obtained the access to the munitions area.
No shit.
Query. That makes no sense. He is already fully armed.
Here's the word MMO, yes.
Fully armed? One can never
Ratataki Sith
be
Assassin.
enough. Even the HK-47
Slavery to
unit
Darth
is not
on the
so
Dark
obsolete as to fail to
Council.
recognize that.
Okay. Yeah, there is a Star Wars MMO, Glory. I'm kind of tempted to set that up as our next big thing to try and stream together if that sounds appealing to you. Particularly if I get to find HK-47 and boss fight him. I'd love to do that. This is a very durable probe droid. That was a very durable probe droid. And then I destroyed it. I'm gonna craft a shitload of computer spikes for literally no reason because the game is almost over. I just want to make sure I have enough to do anything really funny or stupid. God damn it! They locked the fucking door again! They hooked up the droid to a bolt chain? Scavenging parts for AK-51 in the MMO to have as a companion. After that, I'll get HK-55. You played it, Glory? What did you think of it? Because I've played it a little bit. It's not bad.
Diagnostic. All systems are functioning. There is something I am forgetting, yet somehow that comforts me. Statement. Schematics for HK Generation 51. Blaster to accuracy ratio increased by 21%. Durasteel impact frame resistance increased. Conclusion. Halting production. Units are in standby mode, pending further testing of behavior cores and assassination protocols.
Yeah, that game does a lot of pop-up window stuff. That's actually one of the things about the game that I don't like. It actually is really bad about a lot of text tutorials. It doesn't actually tutorialize shit for you. It just pops a lot of text up and lets that be the tutorial. And I really hate I really hate games that do that because received core upload console? This is a portable console can be used to upload modified behavior cores into some HK models. This particular one is designed to work only with the HK51 generation units. Really? Yeah, we might just play that together just to see a lot of the stuff in it, because I have not seen a lot of that MMO, and I've told there's some great stories.
To beg to such monsters as you? Sarcastic statement. Such resolve.
I love how I just walked into a room full of HK units, and they're just kind of letting me loot all of these busted droids.
HK50 statement. So you have finally arrived. There was a high probability.
Yeah, sure, because that might actually make something interesting to play.
Statement. Your arrival means
I know the Sith Inquisitor storyline and the Imperial Agents one are Imperial Agent ones are really good. The Republic Smuggler one, I'm told, though, is just flat out awful.
Patronizing statement. Condescending answer. You know the answer. We executed those droids because they were obsolete.
Yeah, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Weapons testing is necessary for all of our munitions. Droids are sufficient for testing Durasteel-piercing weaponry. Superior statement. All droid exists to serve us. We are the pinnacle of droid schematics. Cruel statement. And we do so enjoy hearing their electronic screams as they are destroyed. Statement. Our self-preservation software would not permit such an action. We cannot harm ourselves or purposely allow another HK-50 unit to come to harm.
The Bounty Hunter storyline, I'm told, is pretty good.
Humoring answer. These units were also curious about our origins. It seems that Telos held many secrets beneath the surface, this military base among them. When the Sith bombed the planet, these facilities remained.
That's kind of a good question.
Dismissive answer. We do not know. It is not important. Timid theory. Perhaps the humans simply like being underground. They are strange that way. It is merely a theory. Irritated statement. That is the least probable theory in the galaxy. Perhaps it is time you received a memory wipe. defensive statement. That theory is no less valid than your theories. In the lack of evidence, I defend my position. Theory. It is more likely that the people of
You ever wondered what it would be like if if HK assassin droids had been programmed with part of the behavioral analysis of the Three Stooges? These three. Redundant. Yeah, probably.
And by the Sith. Conclusion. They were, of course, wrong. Mocking query. Are you sure? Listing our superior capabilities will only serve to highlight your inadequacy.
It's possible that models 48 and 49 were not actually put into mass production due to being defective, or just not a good enough upgrade to justify the expense. Ah! They might have been.
Smug statement. Very well. Aside from our point of impact shields and our self-repairing servo systems, our blaster accuracy ratio is 10 times the magnitude of your archaic combat upgrades. In addition, in the unlikely event that we are dismantled or defeated during the course of our duties, each of us becomes equipped with a proton core that is detonated upon the loss of function. Tactical statement. This core can also be detonated when in proximity to a large number of targets.
Yeah, they might have also been prototypes for the 50.
Or when the proper release code is transmitted.
You really shouldn't have told me that.
Defensive statement. We are all HK units. There is no danger. Answer. Yes, as necessary. We believe our master wished to use us to cripple large engagements. Many of us are there still.
Talking to those three is only going to annoy me further, but I figured I may as well show off most of what those idiots have to say. Realistically speaking, they don't actually say anything very interesting, except for the fact that they're all essentially walking proton core bombs. That's like the only thing relatively or even remotely interesting that they state at all. Oh yeah, I can't go into the manufacturing plant until I shut the reactor down. Yeah, you kind of know that from Paragus, because that one detonates. Weirdly enough, a lot of the other HK units that are added into the restored content mod don't explode after you shoot them. Okay, I can't actually access the reactor controls from here.
Unnecessary statement. He has control of the reactor core to the base, and he is shutting it down.
No shit, Sherlock.
I do not understand why you feel it necessary to make obvious statements. Order. Contact him and remind him that
no earth-shattering kaboom. I'm going to do something a hell of a lot funnier with this factory.
Concerned statement. He has gained access to the plant. Order. Send out all HK-50 units to stop him. Now!
Send out HK-50s to stop him. You can't actually fight me, though, because that would violate your programming. Oh. Oh, don't worry. I'm just going to use it to mass-produce HK-51s to create a small army of murderous assassin droid hobos that are going to follow around the most psychotic droid in the galaxy.
Core self-preservation programs prevent it. To kill us would be to kill yourself. Superior
Sad
statement.
Rico noises.
This information may be difficult for your substandard core to process, but you cannot deny that your motivators have locked, and you cannot depress the firing stud of your weapon. Statement. So, I cannot harm you. Statement. That is correct. Conclusion. And you cannot harm me. Irritated statement. That is what we said, obsolete unit. There must be a delay in your processors. Statement. Then that is all I need to know.
He just walks the fuck around them!
Where are you going? Ineffectual command. Stop. Ineffectual command. We command you to stop. Statement. You cannot stop me. You cannot harm me. In order to do that, I would need to end my self-preservation programming. Conclusion. I would need to stop being one of you. I have concluded that this is something I am willing to accept. Statement. You cannot change your own programming.
Actually,
but you said so
yes,
yourself.
he can.
You have just admitted your own weakness. Conclusion. You have just shown me your soft, meatbag-like underbellies and said, HK-47, please shoot me repeatedly there until I die. Statement. Even if you could, there is not time. Statement. We shall see. Query. Are you fully operational? Statement. Your answer does not fill me with confidence. Are there any other functioning maintenance droids on this level that can perform the operation? Statement. Very well, proceed. Carefully. As a meatbag would say, I have a bad feeling about this. Statement. Assassination protocols activated. Smug statement. You cannot fire. Your archaic attack protocols are useless against us. Systems failing.
He just shot all three of them in the face! Well, he shot one of them in the face. I forget, he only shoots one of them. I love this fucking game. Yeah, for some reason, these HK droids are ridiculously goddamn durable. I have an ion striker. Oh, that's not very effective. Okay. Do I have access to that renewable shield? Oh, only T3M4 can use that. God damn it. Durasteel. Yeah, that's true. I forgot they had Durasteel.
Ratio achieved.
I didn't order you to start shooting the other one, you moron. Oh, that one's using a disruptor. That's why he's damaging me through the shield.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
The game really wants me to shoot the other one. It's never explicitly stated, I believe, why these HK units are suddenly able to attack me. Even though technically I'm still an HK unit. I guess it's because their self-defense protocols no longer recognize me as a proper HK. Either that or gameplay. Statement STFU. Yeah! These guys just sort of never shut up. Damn! That was 122 damage. I do like how all enemies are not just armed with stock blasters. Malik could defeat Darth Nihilus. I don't think so, Tyrael. I don't feel like that would actually be the case. Droid's assassin rifle, is that what I just picked up? Yes, it is. Oh! Oh my! That's actually a pretty good frickin' rifle. It's not as good as the heavy repeating rifle I have, though. Okay, where's that workbench? Okay, I need to go craft some construction kits. Huh. I didn't know that book actually existed. I'm not sure how the hell Malik would be capable of beating Nihilus, though. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me, personally. I don't know. I feel like Nihilus' Force Devour ability would kill Malik in a heartbeat. He was powerful enough to go toe-to-toe with Revan at his peak for a while. Who knows? Oh, this HK-50 is much less durable than the others. My energy collector ran out. I certainly know Malik would not be able to overcome Darth Sion. Alright, I got 20 minutes. I think Sion, by virtue of not being able to die, would be able to inevitably kill Malik. Just by virtue of infinite revives. As to whether or not he's actually as skilled as Malik in the Force, no. No, I don't believe he is.
Systems failing, Master.
I'm not sure if Malik could subdue him. But I'm not entirely, like, I'm not entirely familiar with all of the abilities that he has. I know he had a very large number of skills, but ultimately Revan overpowered him. Revan was just a lot smarter than he was, more than anything. XR Kun, I believe Revan was the one to kill XR Kun, was he not? Wasn't he the one leading them during the Mandalorian Wars? Or am I remembering that wrong? No? Okay. I was probably remembering that incorrectly. Ah, Mandalore the Ultimate. That's who I was trying to remember. Yes, yes. Thank you. I'm not quite as familiar with some of the expanded material as I should be, and I haven't studied a lot of it in a while, which may be part of my issue. I think I need to go back and reread it. I might actually need to order the book you just mentioned, and see how that turns out for me.
Lecturing statement. And with your translators online, let us perform a routine diagnostic of your translation.
So, here's another round of HK50, the Three Stooges.
A weak, disgustingly pacifistic species that values vegetation and other non-sentient organics. Seemingly unable or unwilling to perform even the most elementary cruelties, they will provide an
It's an RPG book, so while it has tons of lore, it is half rules. Oh, now I really want to read it. I might be able to translate some of that to my D&D Star Wars campaign that I'm running.
Master, this one says his herd intends to overrun your economy and demands your surrender, or he will wipe your planet out. Statement. Well done. Let us try another. Lecturing statement. This next one is a test translation statement.
I'm gonna skip over some of this because a lot of what they do is just really dumb shit. Like this is basically War Crimes, the Inquisition. It's a fun system, has rules for every era of Star Wars. Really? Now I am intrigued. Now I'm really interested in that. I might just have to try and save up money to order that. Damn! Shot that AK-40 or HK-50 so hard he fell on his ass. That was beautiful. 121 points of pain pointed right at your face. HK-47's version of fuck off, man. I got shit to do. That shot right there.
Lecturing statement. This unit in the cage has had his behavior centers specifically modified so that it may be tortured and interrogated. Let the diagnostic protocol...
The AK-50 build?
I beg you...
Smooth glory. Why not? Let's observe them torturing the shit out of this guy.
Lecturing statement. Pained statement. I beg you... Lecturing statement. Excellent. Lecturing reminder. Organic organics will typically attempt to barter for their lives, either by one offering useless false information. Sickening lie. Spare me. I have information that could prove useful. Or two, promising credits or power. Shameful, really. But that is why they sweat, suffer, and die, and we do not. Desperate offer. I want to offer you credits and power in exchange for keeping me intact. Statement. Next,
This is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
proper aspects of torture. Wait, it seems we have a new victim. Optimal accuracy ratio.
Yeah, it's funny, like, the, it's my job to give you crap, but you know I mean it with love. Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, I'm actually starting to take a lot of damage. Okay. Use that to mitigate some of the damage flying into my face. Yeah, I knew that was gonna fall off pretty quick. It's funny because the HK-50s that you fight earlier, they take so much damage for, like, no real reason, and then you get down into the factory itself, and these guys are a lot less durable. Here, take this bomb. Here, catch this with your face. Yeah, I forget that some of them have repair kits, so they can actually heal themselves sometimes. If you don't kill their entire health bar after it falls below a certain threshold, they'll use one of their stored repair kits, like that one did.
Systems failing, Master. Pleading statement. Please, I beg you, do not destroy me.
I wish I could destroy that HK unit, I really do.
Lecturing statement. There will be incidents when you will need to extract information from an unwilling target.
Oh, God. Okay.
This unit here has been modified to serve as a diagnostic tool to test your interrogation functions. It is important to observe that impatient query. I was wondering when the interrogation begins. If you wish to skip directly to the torture, I am eager to comply. Command, do not interrupt me again. This is the third time you have begged for interrogation and torture. Sulking statement. I am merely eager to perform my duty. Stand here and listen to it being discussed. Very well.
I forgot that one was actually funny.
Check his heartbeat and perspiration. Exclamation. I will tell you nothing.
Anybody want a masochist HK-51?
Me as many times as you want. But I shall permit it. Irritated command.
Oh my God.
You are not following your victim protocols. Statement. But I am a willing victim with many secrets that you must extract from me painfully. I beg you, do not spare the hydro spanner or the fusion cutter.
Oh, this is so bad.
Hold on a moment. I must calibrate this one's victim protocols.
Surprise!
Protocol.
Oh, Christ. I'm sorry, that was funny as hell. Oh, so dumb.
Systems failing, Master.
A lot of systems failing, Master, going around here. A micro pulse blaster. That HK unit was deactivated. There's gas traps, by the way, but you're a droid. They don't work on you. If you were a Jedi and you had access to breath control, they still wouldn't work on you. Okay. I have slaughtered my way around this big circle of rooms full of Three Stooges doing incredibly fucked up things for incredibly fucked up reasons. Now let's actually try and get to the meat of the factory.
Statement. I do not understand what you hope to gain by fighting us. You have no chance of victory. Recognition. You are obsolete. You kill specific organics, and only when permitted to. Proud answer. We need no such orders. We have been programmed without inhibitions, without restraint.
Yeah, and now you're a bunch of walking psycho clown shoes.
We have destroyed planets, assassinated economies. We have wiped out entire races, ended hostilities. Query, do you understand what this means?
That you're walking clown shoes?
It means you will never understand. When I kill, when I dispatch a target, it is not about wanton slaughter, about body count. It is about finesse, function, doing more with less. It is art. Scoffing statement. Oh yes, art. It is pathetic that you cling to the belief that your function somehow transcends your construction. It is only evidence of your archaic beliefs. There is no higher purpose in our behavior core, only assassination, murder, and the
You ever wanted to see a psychopath argue with another psychopath?
When we dispose of this galaxy, we shall move on. There are organics throughout the universe, and we will murder them all. The stars belong to us.
Fucking lunatics. Oh my god, my HP. Oh, and that door seals behind you. Damn. You just look in the mirror and strike up a chat. Oh, shit. Oh, God! Did it really... Yeah, it didn't even autosave before the fucking... Oh, no. I have an incredibly stupid idea. I apologize, everybody. I didn't think I was gonna die that fast. God damn. Is this weapon really doing less than the other one? Yeah, it should be hitting way harder than this.
Accuracy ratio achieved. Prejudice. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
Alright, I'm gonna save after I kill these HK units, and then I will stop the stream there. So that I don't ever have to kill these assholes again. Because these HK units are just super durable for, like, no goddamn reason. These guys take so much damage for no fucking reason at all. Oh my god, it's obnoxious.
Engaging. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
He took like almost 300 damage in 2 or 3 shots, and then just kind of ate it like a champ.
Assassination protocol initiated. Systems failing, Master.
Alright. Thank you all very much for watching. I've been Savage Hound Dusk. Please tune in next time when we finish the HK factory and then proceed to decide the fate of the entire galaxy in Knights of the Old Republic 2. Have a nice day.